Gramma here. How are you? Are you ready to read a story? So this one, if you do some things sometimes when you're just trying to help and it doesn't go the way that you planned, then we wonder, does our family still love us the same when we make mistakes? So this is a really funny book about a girl that was just trying to help. It's called A Regular Flood of Mishap. And we're going to find out exactly what happened with her. One of the things about this book is it's written in a bit of a southern drawl, southern accent. And I'm not sure I'm good at that, but I'm going to give it a try. Because that's what Grammas do. We try to meet the author where they're at. So A Regular Flood of Mishap by Birdseye, illustrated by Lloyd. And Lloyd is a very good artist. I always seem to pick books with good artists. Okay, here we go. I've lived here on Mossy Rock Creek all my life. 6 years. But now I'm leaving for good. It's true. My name is Ima Bean. And you heard me right. I've packed that old suitcase Aunt Etta Bean gave me last Christmas, and I am skedaddling out of here as fast as a frog off a hot frying pan, because my family doesn't love me anymore. And I can't blame them. You see, I goofed. I didn't mean to make such a terrible mess, though I was just trying to help. Okay, that's Ima Bean right there. Oh, she's got her hands on, what's that? That's a fishing pole. Look at that. Okay, let's find out what's going on there. It all started when I was down by the creek and spied Grandpa Bean's fishing pole propped up on a rock. Why, Ima Bean, I said to myself, Grandpa Bean has gone off and plumb forgotten his fishing pole. So I ran over and picked that pole up. Wouldn't you know? Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten his fishing line, too. It was still dangling in the water like it had nothing else to do. Better take that line to him as well, Ima Bean, I said to myself. I was just trying to help. A fishing pole's not much more than a long stick without it, now is it? So I commenced to reeling that line in. There she is. She's reeling the line in. You see that okay? Wouldn't you know, Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten that he had a hook tied to the end of that line, and it sure seemed snagged. So I took a good hold of Grandpa Bean's pole, and I cranked, and I yanked. Look at her. She is cranking and yanking. But that hook just refused to come loose. Wouldn't you know? Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten about that big log on the creek bottom. I reckon his fishing hook was stuck in that thing as sure as pigs like mud. Ima Bean, this calls for a little more oomph, I said to myself. I was just trying to help. So I put my feet up against a big rock, and I took a big breath, and I closed my eyes real tight, and I heaved, and I hauled, and I grunted like a big old fat hog. Then I gave one big, huge, humongous pull, and directly I heard something hit the water. Look. Who hit the water? And I opened up my eyes and discovered it was me. Water was everywhere. Right about then, I noticed coming up to way over my head. I hope she knows how to swim. So spitting and sputtering, grumbling and muttering, I swam to shore and climbed up on the bank, dragging Grandpa Bean's fishing line behind me. Look at that. She is soaking wet. Wouldn't you know? Well, that line wasn't stuck on a big log like I thought it was. Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten he had some bait on that hook of his, and he'd gone and caught himself a big old catfish. Look at that big old catfish. Wow. Grandpa Bean's a good fisherman for someone who's not even there. Heavens to Bean, Ima, I said to myself, you better get that fish on home for fixing. I was just trying to help. Grandpa Bean will be as excited as a fly at a marmalade picnic when he sees this. Catfish! Mm-hmm! Yah-hoo-dee-hoo! But then I saw Grandpa Bean's fishing pole broken too. Dear me. Oh my. Black clouds fly, my troubles in the sky. I'd goofed. Just see that? See his broken fishing pole down there? So I ran home real quick to get a piece of string to try and tie that fishing pole back together. But wouldn't you know, I'd plumb forgotten that my daddy, people around Mousy Rock Creek know him as Garbanzo Bean, had wrapped that string real tight around the barnyard gate for a reason, to keep it closed. When I untied it, the gate swung open and out galloped Hester the mule like kids at Christmas. Right through the clothesline he went, dragging it, and Mama Lima Beans washed behind him. I'll get him, Daddy. Don't cry, Mama, I yelled. I was just trying to help. Whoa, Hester, whoa. But Hester didn't whoa. Look at that. She's got the catfish in the bucket. And here is Hester. And he is going berserk. So I grabbed Brother Chili Bean's bicycle to help chase that mule down. Wouldn't you know, I'd plumb forgotten that the front tire of Chili's bicycle needed a new whatchamacallit, or a whatchama-other-call-it. From when he'd run into the pig trough, I got no more than 1 foot shy of 2 feet going when that front wheel came off that bike and took off on its own like it had a previous engagement. I was thrown face foremost into the cabbages and carrots and taters and meters Mama had piled in the garden cart, which then began to roll. Oh my! Do you see what's going on there? I don't know if you can see both pages, but look at that. All those vegetables. Now it's rolling. I wonder what happens. But I was just trying to help, I yelled, as that fast-moving garden cart almost ran over Daddy and sent Mama and Brother Chili Bean diving into the bushes. Look at that. There they are. They're jumping into the bushes. Isn't that something? Sorry if I'm moving the book too much. Me and those cabbages and carrots and taters and maters were soon swerving down the road like a snake in a cactus patch, gaining on Hester the mule and all that laundry faster than a cow could say moo to you too. A regular flood of mishap it was. Things were beginning to look kind of wild. There goes, you see the horse down here? He's taking off with the laundry. What is he doing? But wouldn't you know, things can always get wilder. I'd plumb forgotten it was market day, just as I reached rocket ship speed and was running within a curly hair stretch of Hester the mule. Around the bend came little sister Pinto Bean and Grandpa Bean in the farm truck, which was all loaded up with apples. Yep, wild indeedy, I'm a bean, I said to myself, and I knew for sure it was true. Uh-oh, here she comes. Here she comes in the cart and following the mule and running right into Grandpa. And look at that, his truck full of apples with little sister Pinto Bean peeking out the window. So I yelled at Grandpa Bean that he'd plumb forgotten his fishing pole and that I was just trying to help, but maybe he'd better get the farm truck out of the way before I explained it all. Wouldn't you know, he did just that. Dear me, oh my, black clouds fly my troubles to the sky. I had goofed. Look what happened to all the apples. Oh, heavens. What are we doing with those? So about then is when I decided to leave Mossy Rock Creek for good. I bailed out of that garden cart, cabbages and carrots and taters and maters flying every which way. Ran flea hop fast back home through the woods and packed my suitcase. You see that? There she is. She's packing her suitcase. Gotta find a new family, I'm a Bean, I said to myself. You've gone and broke Grandpa Bean's fishing pole and let Hester the mule out and tore down Mama's clothesline and broke Brother Chili Bean's bike even worse than it already was and dumped those cabbages and carrots and taters and maters and run Sister Pinto Bean and Grandpa Bean and the family apples right off the road. It's a terrible mess, a regular flood of mishap. No one will ever love you anymore. Then I started to cry, because I known it was true. Look at it. Okay, there's her packing her suitcase. And there's her teary little face. Poor girl. But wouldn't you know, there she is on the porch. She's just getting ready to walk down the trail. I had plumb forgotten. Look what's happening. I think everybody's following her, don't you? You see that? In my family, you are always family, even when you goof. You see that? Well, I know sometimes I goof, and I know sometimes you goof, but family is always family, and most of the time, I would say almost every single time, they love you anyway, even when you goof. So that's it. That's my regular flood of mishap book. This is Grandma signing off, sending you a little love and a kiss for you to catch, stick on your cheek, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.